Hey everybody, it's Lynn and I am back. I just wanted to come on and talk with y'all. I got a few things that I wanted to talk about today. I filmed in the greenhouse earlier and I don't know if I'm going to combine that with the yarn stuff yet. That's still kind of up in the air. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Tell me if you would want them separated or if you like one thing and maybe would be interested in watching some stuff for the other. Like I said previously, I have a very, very varied interest. So there's a lot of things going on in my life as far as the things I like to do. Now, I do want to show you something I finished, and I'm trying something new with this camera situation, so hopefully it will be in shot. I'm going to kind of put it right here in front of my face so that I can guarantee you will see it. So this is a hot pad that I wanted to try, and it has not been blocked yet. The colors, the petals aren't exactly in their correct spots, but once I get everything done and get it ready, it'll be pretty. It's just not finished. It's finished, but it's not ready to be given or sold. All right, now another thing I have going on, you know how I told you that I have usually I have one crochet and one knitting. That's about all my WIPs that I usually have. Well, this right here, well, it's kind of flipped over the wrong way at the moment. Let me see if I can do that without losing my thing. We're going on a cruise, and my daughter-in-law seen a beautiful cover-up that she wanted me to make her. So I am making that. It is with, now I am making it with a discontinued yarn. It is Lily Sugar Babies. Now, this has been out of production for quite a minute. It's just sport weight cotton. It's very soft. But that's why I never worry about, having yarn, because it doesn't expire. It might be discontinued, but it never expires. Because that particular yarn I had used to make myself a cover-up a while back. Like, a long time ago. So, I overbought, honestly. And I tend to do that because, when I'm thinking about how big I want something, I would rather have extra than not enough. So, that will be paired with some Hobbii yarn. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let me explain something. This right here, the brown, is sugar and cream, the cones that I was telling y'all about that I did with, I bought it to match the chocolate ombre, and I ended up not liking the two together because this was such a different shade of brown than the chocolate ombre. So I paired it with, I had to hold 2 strands of this because this is Hobbii. I'm going to show y'all those in a minute. It's Friends Cotton 8/8, so 8/8 cotton. And it's a little thinner. It's a sport weight. So this is a 4 weight and this is like a 3 weight. So I had to hold them 2 together, but I don't know if you can see. It's got some beautiful color because I did 2 strands, one of like a bright yellow and then one more like a gold yellow. So with that cotton that I got from Hobbii that I'm going to show you in a minute, I have a wide range of variety of colors. So whatever my daughter-in-law may want, because it's going to transition on that cover up from white, and then I might transition in from white to gray to black. So it's more like an ombre. And it's still up in the air. She's bless her heart, she's very indecisive. So she says, surprise me. Well, she's going to be wearing it, so I want her to like it. So I don't know if I'm going to do that, which black and gray is her comfort zone. So that may be the fallback and what I end up doing. But with the Hobbii yarn, I also have lots of shades of blue. So I could do like a sea theme, you know, like the aquas, and then go from like a light teal and aquas into the darker colored blues. So, but now I'm a blue freak, so that was what my mind first went to. Plus the pattern she showed me had those colors in it, and I think that they used a an ombre yarn or a self-striping yarn that afforded it to be able to make those transitions. Well, I'm a use what I have kind of girl, especially since I had all that white. So I was like, well, you know what? We're gonna do that. So I'll show you the Hobbii yarn in a minute. But this is, I'm making for my niece, and oops, sorry, my leg hit it. Remember I told you that I made her the bulldog little top, little crop top? Well, she wanted one in this color. Now, this is, yeah, it's kind of hard, but it's on my thing. This is what Timu's color called watermelon red. And yes, I have all my little stringlies, and this is not watermelon red. To me, she even called it like a coral, you know. And yeah, I guess it could be. But you see how tiny this thing is, right? Yeah. You've seen in the picture, if you saw that video where I described it, I put a picture up of her wearing it. But she's this big. She's a little bitty girl. Oh, and she's not a girl, she's a woman. She's 26. Actually, wow. She's almost 27. But and she just got married, so I'm excited for her. But she wanted this color next, because I showed her all the yarns that I got from Temu and let her pick. And she wanted this one. She said, you know, this is the color she's into at the moment. So, you know what? I'm going to do another one. But the funny thing is she's so tiny, it takes no time to complete a round for her shirt. Now, this and the cover-up have not been getting attention because went to said wedding, and then I had my grandson the day after that. My husband and I, we let him sleep that night with us. He spent the night with us that night of the wedding, and then stayed all day Sunday. And then, you know, with that on top of the greenhouse, it's not, my yarn hasn't been getting as much loving as it normally does. But that's okay. There's always evening. But usually, like yesterday, it was probably 120 in the greenhouse. The last time I looked, it was 110. But I was wiped out afterwards. And it could be, you know, I had went to my brother-in-law's birthday dinner the night before and had some Long Island iced tea. So that could have played a factor in it, but I don't think so. It was that hot regardless. So, now I'm going to show you the Hobbii yarn that I got. And I'm saying Hobbii. It's Hobbii. They're based out of Denmark. And within their company is so funny because they posted a video on how everybody pronounces the name of the company. And even within their own company, people call it different. They pronounce it different. Some do Hobbii, some do Hobbii, some does Hobby, like Hawib. So I just say Hobbii because it's not to be confused with Hobby Lobby. So I don't say Hobby, I say Hobbii. So anyway, so I got these packs of yarn, and this is a color pack 20. Now, when I originally ordered these, they were having a 50% off sale. So I got a lot. I ordered a lot. But unfortunately, only half my order got to me. The other half was quote unquote lost. Well, I was tracking both packages and they were flying everywhere. The package that I lost never got down to my state. It never got to South Carolina. It stayed hijacked somewhere in a small area in Georgia. Let's see. I want to say maybe Covington. But this was, this was a whole ordeal. So I needed the yarn. So while I was waiting on those, I went ahead and ordered some more. And unfortunately, those were only 40% off. And I know, I should be grateful that it was cheap, cheaper, and not regular cost. But we've discussed this before. I don't buy yarn at full cost. So these were 40% off, sorry. So usually this pack is $24. Half off is $12. And I think it's like, my math isn't working at the moment, but I think it's like $14 maybe. Yeah, I think it's about $14 or $14.50 at 40% off. So still a good deal. I mean, you get, these are 50-gram balls, and you get 10 of them. So they end up being $1.40, or if you get them for 50% off, $1.20 a ball, which that's right up my alley. Now these are sport weight. They are three weight. They call them 8/8, and it's really super soft. I really like these. But now this one is color pack 20. It has beautiful rainbow richness colors for those. I only got one of those. Oh, I'm gonna set them over here because I got my little free gift from Temu. So my little it's actually a pretty decent size shelving unit, and it's got the 8 cubes. And I mean, that's pretty substantial. So let me make sure. All right. And here's another one. Now, this has the 2 yellows missing out of it because I used part of them for that sunflower thing. But it's got your basic, and it goes from light and then goes down and then to dark. So they're pretty. They're very vibrant. And I don't know if they're showing right, on the camera. So I'm trying to keep them far back so that it's kind of a true color. But they're very bright, very vibrant. I love them. Now these 2, see, these are replacements for the one that I got lost. I ordered, I think, 4 of these. I didn't get them, so I ended up reordering 2 more. And, it's got the whites, the tan, then going into the beige and darker. And then you've got your gray, very light gray at the bottom, going into your black. But with all the kitchen stuff that I crochet and knit, I knew these would come in handy. So that's what I wanted to get with those. And this I have 3 of. This was part of the pack that made it to me. And, oh, sorry. Alright, so the very first one was color pack 20. This is color pack 13. And the browns and grays and blacks are color pack number 1. 01. And this one, these are so pretty. You got your pinks that go from light to dark. And that's kind of like a, I want to say, it is a very dark fuchsia. Like, this is the fuchsia, but this is very fuchsia toned. And then you've got your lavenders to your dark purple there. So I have 3 of those. And then I have 3 more. And this color pack is 15. And this is some of the colors I was telling you that we would be able to do if I wanted to add the blues and stuff to her cover up. Because between that and these right here at the bottom, I'll be able to stripe them to where I could get a good ombre look. Now, a couple of these colors are duplicates, like those 2 colors that are right on top of each other right there. And those 2 look like duplicates too. And then the 2 blues right here. So it's really handy. And all of these have their own individual colors. You can look at Hobbii, and I'll put the link down in the description. You can look at their website and see exactly what colors are for what. But I like that some packs may have the same colors other packs, because what if you need a little bit extra, you know? I probably won't, because I have 3 of each one. Well, 3 of each of those and 3 of each of those. The browns, blacks, and whites, I wish I'd gotten all of those. And I can put in another order when they go back on sale. But they have yarn sales a lot. So I can always pick them up if I want more. The only thing is, with them being in Denmark, they're going to go through customs. So you might have a little bit of a wait. Usually those don't take long. The one time that they went hijacking around, the southeast, hitchhiking across the southeast, that was the only time I ever had any trouble getting, usually it's like maybe a week, a little less than a week. So this was actually a surprise, the one. But when I went back into that one order that went everywhere but where it was supposed to come, the zip code was wrong. So that was probably the whole mess behind that. And the one that they deemed lost, that didn't get scanned for almost 2 weeks before they deemed it lost, it probably got taken home somewhere. I mean, let's face it. It didn't get lost. They could have sent it back to Hobbii, but they didn't. I still have the tracking number, and it still has not moved. So the only time that I would think something like that would happen is when... How do you... These are big packages. I mean, it was like 6 or 8. So it was a very big package. There's no way to me that seems like it could be lost. It's not going to fall behind something and not be seen. Because they have the white bag with Hobbii and blue ink. So it's very distinct. But anyway, so I counted that as missing. That was gone. Which I reached out to Hobbii, and they were nice enough to work with me and get me a refund. Because I don't know if the zip code snafu, I don't know if it was apparent as I put my order in, but when I look back at it, my shipping address had my correct zip code on it. My billing address is the one that had the wrong zip code. So it shouldn't have shipped to the wrong zip code because that wasn't my shipping address. But regardless, they made it right, and I really appreciate them for that. So shout out to them for great customer service. But, it might take me a minute to use all this. So I might not have to order those browns and grays and, for a while. because as I'm sitting here and I'm looking, that's what you see me keep looking at. I have a rack in front of me that has all this gorgeous yarn sitting on it. Most of it's acrylic, but I do have some of my cone yarn sitting on that rack, so it's just... Oh, and I have Super Saver Ombre, Red Heart. And I'll show you all that. Actually, no, I'll show you now. Hold on. So, this is considered a WIP I put in timeout. Not because of the project's fault, but because of the yarn's fault. Now, what is her name? Bless her little heart. I cannot believe I forgot her name. I'll add it. So, this was one of her squares on a crochet along. And I loved it. It's called Beginning. This thing has been in timeout for a long minute. So I'll have to post on the screen the name of the square and Polyposse? I don't remember the designer's name. But anyway, this is, and it's quite big, so I'm hoping that I can get it in there. But I love the design. And I bought it. I bought the yarn specifically to do this pattern with, because I love that. Isn't that so pretty? It's just so squishy. I love it. As Jennifer says, the squish factor. And if you don't know who I'm talking about Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches. But the way the design works up, it works so nice with this ombre yarn. But when I tried adding a new yarn, the colors didn't add up. And I will have to waste a lot of yarn to get it to that point to where I can, because it happened. No. What happened was, and I still see the curl from where they had joined it. They had the yarn breaks. I know that in manufacturing, it's unfortunately it's the one flaw that they can't run one continual thing without it breaking. It happens. Machines get too tight. It snaps it, so they have to tie it back in. Well, if you're not paying attention on ombre yarn, the piece that's tied in possibly doesn't match. So I thought I could fudge it and, make it work, because that's kind of my MO. I tend to just make it work. But unfortunately, with this design and this yarn, I wasn't able to. So I put it in timeout. And I still have two skeins that I still need to use. And this is the Red Heart Ombre Scuba. See, I already know my memory is horrible, so I wrote myself a note. I have my hook size, and for this yarn, it says, as time goes by. That's the name of the pattern. And it's Plum. So I wrote myself a note that said, for this yarn, as time goes by, Plum pattern on my phone with a clover with a 5mm hook. So, see? I don't have to put it up there. But I did Plum's See, I was close. I said poly posse, but I think that's what she calls the group. But anyway, I really want to finish this because I love it, but I really don't want to waste the yarn. But I mean, just the transitions are so unique in the ombre, but when you add that pattern to it as well, it's phenomenal. And since I pulled it out, I will probably, not right now. I just happened to see it looking at me on my shelf there, and I was like, ah. But like I said, with it being in timeout because of the fact that they messed it up, I'm kind of scared what I might find in here, you know. Am I going to have to waste even more yarn? Which, that's a decent baby blanket size. I could try it. And if it doesn't work, if it messes up, you know, if the yarn has a mysterious manufacturer knot in it and the wrong color change, then, you know, I could always just put a border on it and it'll be a baby blanket. That works for me. So, I think that's it. I know there was something else I was wanting to talk to y'all about today, and I can't think of it to save my neck. I don't know. So, y'all have a great evening, and have a great weekend, because it's Friday. So, y'all enjoy. Have fun with your yarn, and be safe.